Good morning everyone. In the last lecture we discussed about complete repertory. In that we discuss about the points related to structural changes to Kent's repertory. In that we discuss many points, that is the most important word was moved to the beginning of that rubric, which we found in the at the last intent repertory. All the aggravation rubrics as well as amelioration sub rubrics we were organized. For example, stooping, aggravate, ameliorate become stooping, aggravate, ameliorate. Then older terminology was replaced by new modern terminologies, that is miscarriage is included in abortion. In this way new modern terminologies are used than the older terminology. Then replace the inconsistent use of several words with the same meaning by single word throughout. Micturition became urination. In this way there is some changes in the words. Then some remedy abbreviation have been changed to ensure less confusion about what each abbreviation denotes. The confusion was partially marked for mineral, salt, metal, acidicum. So there are slight changes in the abbreviations are made in this repertory. Degrees of remedies in Kent repertory. It was changed in this repertory, as we already discussed that in this repertory there are 4 grades and in Kent repertory there are 3 grades. Then recognizing rubrics in the mind chapter, there have been some important changes and additions to the rubrics of the mind chapter. Dream rubric is mentioned in mind chapter instead of sleep chapter in Kent's repertory. The dreams represent emotional impressions and mental strain. Then bodily anxieties and apprehensions have been included in mind chapter under anxiety. The reason for this is that although felt in specific part of body, it is still an expression of emotional value. So all bodily anxieties, they are included under mind section in this repertory. As well as we also preserved those rubrics in specific body part chapter. For example, stomach anxiety in has been included in mind, anxiety stomach in. So in mind we have Dr. Zandwood, he tried to preserve those rubrics in though it was included under mind chapter, but the name of that rubric, it was still it was the still it was there. As for example, in mind, though the rubric anxiety in stomach it was included, so we found under mind section rubric is anxiety and sub rubric is stomach in. So in this way the stomach anxiety stomach in, it was preserved by Dr. Zandwood in this repertory, but only it was included under section mind. Then the separate main mind rubric talk, talking, talks have been combined in tone rubric named talk, talking, talks when their etiology was a more emotional mental one. Then the sub-rubric mentioning animals and body or body parts under the main rubrics delusion, dream and fear have been put together under the header, that is body, body parts or animals. For example, fear dogs off became fear animals, and under that rubric, sub-rubric, we found the sub-rubric is dogs off. In this way some changes in the arrangement of rubric, sub-rubric, sub-sub-rubric, as well as some terminologies are also get changed in this repertory. Then we are discussing about the chapter speech and voice. A new chapter has been created, namely speech and voice, containing those speech rubric from mind and mouth chapter that are related to motoric problem, and the voice rubrics formerly found in larynx and trachea chapter. As for example, under mind section, speech embrace we found in Kent repertory on page number 81, and in this repertory it was changed to, in section mind we found the rubric talk, talking, talks, and in front of that the sub-rubric embraced was given. Then under mind section in Kent repertory, speech incoherent, it was this rubric was given, that is speech, and in front of that incoherent sub rubric it was given, but it was changed in complete repertory as speech and voice. Under speech and voice section it was given, and under in that section under speech incoherent the rubric and sub-rubric it was given. Then the pain of extremities and head, separate chapters have created like extremity pain and head pain in order to minimize confusion resulting from size of them and the hierarchy. So the pain in extremities and head, we found in this repertory there are separate chapter, that is extremity pain and head pain, because the this rubric pain is too much elaborate rubric which we found in Kent repertory, and so that to minimize confusion, Dr. Zandvoort he make a separate chapter. He created a separate chapter related to extremity pain and head pain. So we found these two separate chapter in this repertory, and rubrics related to face chapter are purely mentioned in this chapter with cross references at the old location. So all the rubrics related to face, it was all mentioned under this chapter, and the cross references we found at the old location. The example was given, that is all locations of eyebrows, then eruptions outside the nose, then forehead, etc. In under that we found all the cross references. Then desire and aversion, it was moved to generalities chapter under the rubric food and drink. So in Kent repertory, under which section we found desire and aversion? Yes, anyone? In Kent repertory, under which section we found the rubric desire and aversion for food? Yes, desire and aversion for food and drink. Under which section in Kent repertory we found? Anyone, seniors? Gauri? Pratiksha? Ruman? Under which section we found in Kent repertory the desire for food and drink? Anyone? Sujata, Priya, Nikita. There is need to revise each repertory repeatedly so that and only then you can able to remember everything in each repertory. Otherwise it was confusing that in which repertory how many sections are there, in which repertory how many remedies are there, how it was arranged, the plan construction of each repertory. So you have to revise these each repertory repeatedly. Okay, so in Kent repertory we found the desire, specific desire and aversion for food under section stomach, but in this repertory the desire and aversion are moved to generalities chapter under the rubric food and drinks. And in Kent repertory the food aggravation, it was food aggravation as well as food amelioration, it was given under section generalities. Okay, then in stomach chapter indigestion rubric contain the modalities of indigestion, whereas disorder rubric consists of all specific food that cause indigestion. So in stomach chapter we found the indigestion rubric and which contain all the details related to indigestion including modalities, and also it consists of all specific food that cause indigestion, means positive factors for indigestion also we found under stomach section under rubric indigestion in this complete report. Then in respiration chapter, rubrics given under difficult and impeded are merged and put under rubric difficult. So in respiration chapter we found that the under difficult rubric and difficult and impeded are merged and put under the rubric difficult. So these two things are put under only one rubric, that is difficult. Then in generalities chapter, all abusive and poisonous substances are put under the rubric abuse of poisoning with, means all the things, all the abusive things as well as all the poisonous substances we found in section generalities in this repertory under the rubric abuse of poisoning with. Wherever the rubric recognitions have made there, the old rubric will be present as it is without remedies for the easy search with cross reference to the new rubric place. So the rubric recognitions have made there, the old rubric will be present as it is without remedies for the easy search with cross reference to the new rubric place. So in this the cross references as well as proper remedies are given in front of some old rubric where the remedies are not mentioned as well as cross references are not mentioned in the repertory. So it was corrected and The remedies, indicated remedies, as well as cross references are included uh, under such rubrics. Then all noises in all different chapters have been put together like in the year under the main rubric noises. The rubrics related to noise, they are put together like in the year under the main rubric noises. Then in the abdomen chapter, all epigastrium locations have been moved to the stomach chapter and have been put in the general stomach rubrics there. So all the locations which came under epigastric region, they are uh, all in the abdomen chapter. All epigastrium locations have been moved to the stomach chapter and have been put in the general stomach rubrics there. So under stomach, under chapter abdomen, under the rubric epigastric stomach, we found all the symptoms related to epigastric locations. Then lot of cross references was created with comparison with Kent's repertory. For cross references, if no remedies are mentioned in the rubric, means after an arrow mark, the cross reference word will be given. Lot of cross references we found in Kent repertory, also cross references, but as compared to Kent repertory, in this complete repertory we found a more number of cross references which are given. And for cross references, if no remedies are mentioned in the rubric, means after an arrow mark, the cross reference word will be given. If remedies are mentioned, a point sign is used before the cross reference. If the cross reference is in different chapter, then the first word will be in uppercase. So as the cross references, they are given in different chapter, but the first word, it is in uppercase. For example, in mind chapter, under mind chapter or section, the fear, crowd in a, generalities, crowded. In this way it was given. Then if is used instead of, then it indicates that it has several subrubrics that the reference is referring to. For example, fear, bad news, hearing horrible things, then sad stories means fear. Bad news, hearing or fear, horrible things, fear, then sad stories. So in this way, if is used instead of, then it indicates there are several subrubrics. Like the example it was given related to rubric fear, and under fear the many subrubrics are given. Then the gradation of remedies of different repertories have been equated to form the complete repertory is mentioned separately. So after Observing after going through many repertories, Dr. Zandvoort, he decided to give 4 grades to the remedies, and we found the 4 type of gradations in this repertory. Complete repertory's main rubrics will have all the remedies mentioned in its sub-rubrics. At this point, we already discussed that in Kent repertory, one point of criticism in Kent repertory was that in Kent repertory, at many places we found the remedy which was given, or we found the remedy in sub-rubric, but or in front of sub-rubric, but it was not given under a general rubric. But this point is also covered in this complete repertory, that the main rubric which have or under which include all the remedies in front of main rubric, all the remedies are given which we found under the sub rubrics of that rubric. Then repertory page references. Other reference sources are mentioned with page number in bracket immediately after the rubric. For example, alcoholism, dipsomania, means K for Kent repertory, page number 36. So in this way, dipsomania in front of this rubric in bracket K36 means in Kent repertory on page number 36. Then S1398 G28 means G28 means Repertorium Generale in Repertorium Generale on page number 28. Then S1 means synthetic repertory in synthetic repertory volume 1 on page number 398. So in this way, from where this rubric was taken, or which are the reference source, it was mentioned immediately after the rubric in bracket, so that we can easily able to understand from where this rubric, this sub-rubric, it was taken. What is the source of this mentioned rubric or sub-rubric? Then fever chapter has been renamed as fever, F-E-V-E-R. So heat, the chill chapter to chill, chilliness. In this way, there are some changes made in the heading of the chapter also. That is, in Kent repertory we found the fever chapter, but in this repertory we found the section heat. Then chill is uh, renamed as chilliness. In this way, some changes are also made in the name of that rubrics. Then many minor remedy abbreviation have been changed in order not to confuse them with other remedy abbreviation that that represent completely different remedies. As we discussed this point also already, that there are changes made in the remedy abbreviation. For example, COCC-S means Coccinella septem punctata, so which was an insect, and in this way the short form was given as COCC-S. Then Cocculus indicus, the short form was given as COCC. Then Croton tiglium, it was given as a CROT-T, and it was changed in Kent repertory. It was given in this way, and it is changed into Croto-T in order not to confuse with Crotalus horridus and Croton T. Then many new rubrics we found in this repertory were created when there were no existing rubrics that covered their meaning in Kent repertory. We studied the meaning of rubric using information in Madhya and the information in contemporary dictionaries of the time. Also, the rubric to be added should have real homeopathic value, that is, the new information should be information that helps the consulting homeopaths find the right remedy. So, to find out the exact meaning of the symptom or the symptom similarity with the indicated remedy, many new rubrics which were added in this repertory, many much smaller recognition work has been done, but it would be too extensive to mention all of it here. So in such way, many small work, but it was very useful, or many small changes, but it was very useful, helpful during repertorization to find out the exact simillimum. And out of those changes, we discuss some changes here. Then author identification number. So here the list of author with their identification numbers, their IDs, they are given. The list of author identification numbers, it was given. The author identification number are based on chronology, based on the dates that the listed authors published their work. So which this is the change from the system used in pre 3.1 computer version of complete repertory. And the identification numbers to the author, it was given or it was used in pre 3.1 computer version of the complete repertory, the synthetic repertory, Repertorium Generale. The new system enables to have an idea about the time and addition has been made and by whom. Author numbers are displayed as subscript numbers behind the remedy abbreviation. So, behind the remedy abbreviation, author's number it was given. Then the last three numbers of an author number are used to specify the author's place in the chronological system. We use that starts with the 1 for Hahnemann as being the oldest homeopath too. At this point in the development of complete repertory, 239 Raffer M as the last person added to the list and therefore the most recent author that have took additions or new remedy names from. Since this work started with a rather complete list of authors while giving everyone a suitable ID number. Most ID number falls into three-digit category. Nevertheless, and of course, some authors have been added later in the process. These authors got four-digit numbers where the first digit only indicate the first, second, third, and even fourth time of renumbering. So in this way, the author was given a specific identification code which we found in this repertory. Then which additions are made in complete repertory? So additions were made from various sources, as we discussed already that for this repertory there are many sources, and the Dr. Sandwood he taken all the important information from each repertory, as well as referring many books he take important information. So there are various sources for this book, and using information about the reliability of authors and using the book reviews for those sources from old homeopathic journals as a guideline for quality. As a general rule, additions were made from the oldest author available for that addition. So additions which are made in this repertory, they are from older authors, the senior homeopaths, which are available for that addition. The grade of additions and existing information were also taken into account in order not to destroy the varied information in Kent's repertory. So he take care not the Kent's repertory's valid information, it should not get destroyed while making additions from different sources from the old authors. While he was making additions from the material whatever he get of the older authors, but at that time he take care that the Kent's repertory's valid information, it should not get destroyed. The original source is credited with their additions. In most cases, there is extensive materia medica available to confirm and check information. Then special features of this complete repertory. In the next lecture, we discuss about special features as well as the complete repertory of different which was published, its different editions which are published in different years.